Hi. So we are waiting to see who will start. So, hi everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on which side of the world you are in. Uh, so, food security. I think it's something that a lot of us, have grown up with as an issue that we have all faced. But before I move to food security, I just want to talk about something that I personally experienced here in Canada just 2 months back, and it's on climate change. Canada, as we know, is actually probably one of the most one of the countries which has a very mild summer, and very rarely would you see temperatures of about 35, 40. Very rare. So I'm in BC in British Columbia, and typically the weather in summer, which is in the month of June, July, will be around 25, 26. So we had a situation somewhere in the month of June. I can't remember the exact date, June or July, uh, where we had what was called a heat dome. Okay, and the heat dome was such that on one particular day and the days next to it, uh, this part of BC in Canada got so hot that I, who come from India and who have lived in some of the hottest parts of India, felt embarrassed that I felt hot in Canada. It was that hot. We hit temperatures of around 45, 46. Uh, and the funny thing is, unlike India, in Canada, most housing uh, is not ventilated for heat. It is ventilated for the cold or the winter. So what effectively happened was, because of the heat and the way the houses were, the heat got trapped within the house. So the house became still hotter than it should have been. And we felt that though we are from India, we have never faced this kind of heat before. So and most houses here don't have air conditioning. So me and my family had to go to our office to sleep. It was that bad. And just to give you a kind of perspective, we in BC where we live, at least 1,000 people died because of this heat wave. That's number one. So something that this country has never faced. Number two, there was a city which is probably 2 hours from here, a small city, uh, which got completely wiped off and burnt by fires which got created with this heat wave. So, one, it was a phenomenon created by nature. Two, it was destructive. And three, it was something that has left a scar on every citizen person who has lived in BC over these last few years. So climate change is real, and in this conference, I think we will talk about a lot of topics, and I would urge you to think about this thing, about how climate is changing, and effectively, probably we are losing, or we might lose what is probably the most precious thing we have in our life, which is this planet Earth. So going to the topic of food security and micro enterprises. uh, Growing up in India, I think uh, we were a land of uh, food inequality first, and then food in insecurity. So we've grown up with concepts of standing in line for getting food, I think a lot of the issues is less about food production, and I might not be the expert in it, but I'm the layman in it, and more about proper food distribution, which essentially means that the people, the infrastructure, and the ecosystem involved in food distribution and the inefficiency in it is the result why food security is a challenge in many countries. In fact, just yesterday, my daughter who's in school was speaking about it with me, and we understood that yeah, we've never seen food shortage. In fact, in many countries, food grain and wastage of it is actually a big cause of the insecurity that exists with food security. And as a person being involved who has been in the corporate world in many parts of the world, I think the onus is on the micro enterprises or the enterprises to get efficient, to create ecosystems, infrastructure, to ensure that food security is actually a problem of the past. These micro enterprises, whichever size they come in, are probably the fuel for the economies in the mountain regions. And hence their role is probably paramount to a better life in the mountain regions. I'd like to hand over the session now to our experts and request that they do throw light on how this situation and these issues, and also the opportunity for the micro enterprises in the mountain region, how can they succeed, and what are the things that these micro enterprises could do to make life better, simpler, and more quality in the mountain regions. Thank you. I hope you enjoy yourself with these sessions. I'd like to introduce my co-chair, Dan. So Dan will be around, and he will guide you and intervene at various points during the sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Tanislav. I'm from Romania. I'm geographer, specialized in natural hazards, not only in the mountain region, but natural hazards in generally. We can start.